Hello, everyone. So, is Mr. Uneku Edime is going to speak on behalf of Mr. Ozo Ozanko. Mr. Uneku. So let us start just 1 minute.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Uneku Edime. I'm the Executive Secretary of the
Yeah,
National Cashew Association of Nigeria.
yeah, 1 minute, sir. I will start the meeting, then you can speak.
All right.
Okay, so we'll start our meeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all our attendees joining us from across the globe. So I am Naveen from cashewinformation.com, working as senior analyst. I'm delighted to be your moderator for today's session. So this is Trade Talk Series 3 of update on the Nigerian cashew season. So unfortunately, we don't have our speaker Ozo Ozanko, but the executive secretary has joined. So one more previous speaker we have is Mr. Adem Ji. He is the managing director and CEO of Starlink Global and Ideal Solution. So over the next 1 hour, we'll dwell into key updates from the 2025 Nigeria season. So we encourage you to stay engaged and put your question in the question answer box. So we'll take it in the last. So we'll start with you, Mr. Uneku Edemjis. Over to you, sir.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Like I said, my name is Uneku Edime. I am just a representative.
Yeah. So you are going
Yes,
to.
yes, I am just a representative of Dr. Ojo Joseph Ajanaku, who is unavoidably absent. He sent his high regard. He had wanted to be in this meeting, had prepared for these meetings, but for some unavoidable circumstances, he's currently at the presidency in some meetings, and he will not be able to join. So I am unavoidable presence, and that he will wish that if there's any other time where this program is being held, he will wish to be physically or to be present to address whatever issue he needs to address on behalf of the Nigeria cashew industry. So my presence here is to convey that Dr. Ojo Ajanaku will unavoidably be absent with his high regards for what the Cashew Info is doing for the industry globally. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ademe Murtada Atenji. He is the managing director and CEO of Starlink Global and Ideal Limited, a leading Nigerian exporter of cocoa beans, cashew nuts, soya beans, and sesame seeds. With over 20 years of experience, he has significantly contributed to the global agriculture commodity market, holding a degree in biochemistry and genetic engineering, along with an honorary doctorate in business administration. He is recognized in industry leader. In 2019, he became only African member of the Federation of Cocoa Commerce (FCC), highlighting his global influence in the sector. So I welcome Mr. Adenji sir for the webinar. So over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Adeyemi Muritada Mofolasholi Adeniju. I work for Starling Global and ID Limited, a very proud Nigerian company. We export cocoa, cashew, sesame seed, ginger, and soya beans across the world. It's nice to be here. The cashew industry this year in Nigeria is a bit terrible. Terrible because of climate change. Price fluctuations. There are a lot of, but we are very proud of one thing. In the entire West Africa today, Nigeria has the best quality. Courtesy the efforts of Starlink in partnership with Cashew Association in the past and Nigerian Export Promotion Council. For some of us that I can recall, Nigeria was the worst origin 10 years ago. In Vietnam, we were declared the worst origin in the world. But in 2019, from 2019, 2020, 21, 22, to now, we have become the best origin in the entire West Africa. We benchmark ourselves with Cambodia and the best quality you can get in Guinea-Bissau and possibly in Vietnam. In fact, Vietnam crop is not as good as ours today. There are a lot of hiccups in Nigeria because of our trading pattern. So many foreigners going to our farms to go and disrupt the operation has made our cashew to be the highest price cashew in the entire West Africa. And the government is looking for solutions to it. We already have an executive order that prevents foreigners from trading our farm gates, that is pushing the price up. It's not making us so competitive in India, and in Vietnam, it's also affecting us. Then we have started to see smart sellers, also like the smart buyers in Vietnam. People will take contracts and they will not honor it. People will sign contract for 48 KOR and supply 44 KOR. But luckily, the worst of the quality you can get in Nigeria today is 46. I am not sure whether next week, whether it's going to go down. So pricing has been a very major problem, and the volume has reduced considerably because of climate change. This year, I think we are about 15% or 17% lower. I benchmark that one of what I used to buy and what I bought this year. Maybe some other cashew are coming from other places. I am sure there are inflow of cashew from Benin through our border in Shaki, which is a reversal of what used to happen before, which is Nigerian cashew going to Benin. But now Benin cashew are coming to Nigeria. And because of the push of the foreigners, it's making people not to dry the cashew well, the way it's supposed to be. I receive cashew in my warehouse now at 10%, 10.5. It doesn't make sense. In the past year or 2 years ago, it's usually around 9% because we have driven the quality to a very wonderful position that is making us a globally recognized as the destination of people who are buyers. But now we need to also find a way around it. But the fact of it is, the take home is the volume has reduced, the price has gone up, competition is stiff, and if we are not careful, we are likely to have a very terrible repercussion in the few years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your brief explanation about the Nigeria cashew season. So is Baudman Gyani sir, you want to speak something about Nigeria? Hello.
Mr. Badmos, unmute yourself. Maybe he's not hearing you.
Yeah, I guess he is not able to unmute himself.
Maybe you should unmute him.
Yeah, I'll tell. Okay, anyone want to share their thoughts on Nigeria? They can raise the hand. Yes, Mr. Baut said it would be 15 to 17% less this time. So is it, as we saw last time, it was around 280,000 metric tons in Nigeria.
So it's likely to be around 240 to 250,000 tons, even with the help of some cashew coming from Benin.
240 to 250,000 tons.
Yeah, because the second crop was terrible.
Yeah.
Our second crop was terrible. Rain started and it came with storm. So there are a lot of cashew that fell that are immature, but luckily because of the training that our farmers had, you don't have that bad, terrible quality. Up till now, the worst quality you can get in Nigeria is 46 KR. In my way out this morning, I still receive cashew that are 48, 47, 49. So that means the quality is relatively stable, but the quantity is reducing. Maybe, I'm not very sure, but I think it will be having between 15 and 17% lower than what we had last year.
So also we have seen from 2015, there has been a rapid increase in the Nigerian cashew production from 150,000 metric tons to nearly 3,000 metric tons. So can you go through us what has led to this change in the production in Nigeria?
Well, as I said before, because we were the worst origin, which was a wake-up call, especially, importantly, in 2013, we went to Vietnam and we were seriously displeased that we had the worst quality. When they showed us our cashew growing in the containers, all of us who are Nigerians were very ashamed. So we came back and decided to change the narratives. I was in the front of it with the Cashew Association of Nigeria. Tola Fashiru was the president. The combination was very massive. We engaged the government, and we did not only change the quality parameters by removing polythene bags, we did advocacy to make sure that farmers know what the benefit of doing the cashew properly. Then there was backward integration. So many people started planting cashew, and they can see that our price is a bit closer to what we see in Benin Republic and other West African countries. So that has really encouraged the farmers, because our target then was they cannot continue to give us a price that is $500 lower than what is in Benin. When Benin people come to Nigeria and buy our cashew, they call us Benin border. We are not Benin border. We are Ogbomoso people that is 220 kilometers from Benin. Then Kogi, I don't buy Kogi anyway, because I have a share of about 60% in Ogbomoso to buy. So I don't need to go and buy a lot of volume from Kogi, except on demand. But the fact of it is, Kogi cashew today is also very wonderful. There is improvement across Nigeria. The only place where we have little problem with cashew is in the north, which is Nasarawa, and the volume there is less than 1%. So it's not going to affect the overall cashew production and the quality. across Nigeria, we have the population of 220 million people. We should be able to produce more volume of cashew. We are just coming. I think this government, if this government can follow through their plan, I think Nigerian cashew will get to 500,000 tons in the next 5 to 10 years. It's deliberately increasing, except the climate change that has really affected, but it's not only in Nigeria. I see that the volume in Guinea-Bissau is also not very strong, and the volume also in Vietnam is also not very good because of rainfall pattern. So it is not only in Nigeria that we are losing volume, it is across the world. So against what the projection was at the WCC of February, where people said the volume is going to increase, it is the opposite now. So that is what is fueling the increase in prices of cashew and the stiff competition, especially now in Nigeria, that the quality is very good.
So you also mentioned the qualities among the best in the West African country for Nigeria.
Yes.
Can you tell the outputs this time? How much percentage you are expecting? What KOR? Like how much is?
Well, I could see that throughout the year, if it was maybe 2 years ago, you will have started seeing cashew of 41, 42, 43 KOR with this heavy rain. But today, we still have 48 KOR coming to Lagos, 47 KOR coming to Lagos. At the beginning of the season, unfortunately, we did not have 52 KOR this year, but we had 50 KOR, plenty volume at the first crop. The second crop was 49, 48, but because of the heavy rain and lack of sun consistently, it's just what has reduced the quality to 46 and 47. So signing a contract of 46 today in Nigeria is not at risk because we are not likely to get 44 KOR. So I don't know what is going to happen in the next 2 weeks if the rain did not stop, and if there is storm again with the reducing volume, then the quality can get worse. But most of the people that ask cashew now, they are good quality. You can be very sure 47, 46 is very so much around. So I can improve because we were intentional about it.
So also, can you brief us about the pricing, because the prices have reduced little bit, but holding.
Nigeria doesn't have a price. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is today. It is no more the international market price. It doesn't follow international market price. It follows conjecture. You see people say they want to sell cashew today at 1550 from the farm gate. Some are even asking for 1600 from the farm gate in dollars, considering the Nigerian exchange rate. So it is a lot of conjecture because the volume is reduced. So many foreigners are in Nigeria to buy, and the competition is stiff because it's a free market. So I think that is one of the reasons why our local price is now higher than international market price, unfortunately. But it's also a good thing. Compare with what was 10 years, 15 years ago when nobody wants to buy Nigerian cashew. But it's also harming the trade because the local price is higher than the international market price, unfortunately.
So one more thing, sir. In West Africa, processing is growing. So can you brief us about the processing in Nigeria? What is the targeted processing for this year and how much you have processed last year?
Well, I am not a processor yet, so I will not have the data. But I know by 2026, Starlink will also have a 50,000 tons capacity factory that is going to be launched by March 2026. So we are on the process. We have started building the factory. So for processing Nigeria, it is not as good as what we see in Ivory Coast. But we are dragging the government for the government to know that backward integration and forward integration is the way to go. With the global crisis we can see in tariff, it is high time that all African countries start to look at processing to add value. to protect the quality of what they have. So if there's a market disruption, they will be able to keep it. You can't keep raw cashew nut for a long time, even under whatever condition, but you can keep the kernel for as long as you can. So for us not to lose the value of what we produce and to generate employment, I think the government should be very honest about it, will be intentional to look at both backward integration and forward integration, and that will help. And it will bring investment in the cashew sector.
So as you mentioned, it might be around 240 to 250,000 tons of this year production. So how much has arrived so far and how much has been exported till now? Is there any idea on that?
I don't have the details. I only have the details of what I have done.
No.
For Starlink, we have shipped about 36,000 tons as of today, and we still have about 5,000 to 6,000 tons more to ship. But we know, because we don't buy terrible quality, once the quality is gone down, we have to stop. So what is keeping us is because the quality is still good, and we can still compete with what the prices they are asking for. But for us, globally, there are no so much problem of export again. Shipping lines are coming. You can take your cashew to the port on time. The port congestion is no more there. There are no bottlenecks that are preventing people from shipping their cashew, except somebody wants to delay deliberately. It is seamless now. It's easy to export from Nigeria.
Okay. So how's the demand from Vietnam and India as of now because of this tariff tensions and all?
Well, there was a confusion because of the tariff. For almost about 2 weeks, there was no activities in Vietnam. It's just opening up recently. But because it's Starlink, everybody wants to buy from us, so we did not have the feeling too much. But we knew there was a slowdown in the demand. India was became the instant a place to ship your cashew to, but because you have so many of Indian traders in Nigeria, so they prefer to go to Tuticorin and all that places. So more cashew from Nigeria has gone to India than last year, because there was more demand from India than from Vietnam.
Okay. So if anybody have any questions, you can raise your hand or put it in the chat box. So other than that, if anybody wants to share their thoughts on Nigerian crop, they can raise their hands. So on the kernel side, how's the demand, sir, actually? So last time we have exported more than 2,000 tons from Nigeria. So how's the demand for kernel now?
Kernel, I think there are more demands for Nigerian kernels, because once the quality of the cashew nut is good, then the demand can go up. I know of so many, about 2 companies that are processing currently, they have demand. And the beauty of it is you can do semi-processed and ship to Vietnam for completion. So the demand for semi-processed cashew kernels is increasing in Nigeria, and I know so many of them are shipping to Vietnam for it to be finally processed. So instead of sending your cashew nuts, they are sending half-processed cashew kernels into that country. So I think it is looking good for now.
Okay.
So the demand is increasing. That's why the processing should also increase.
So one question for you is, how much of the crop has reached the exporter warehouse, and how much is still at the farm level?
Well, at the farm level, I don't think we have so much volume again, because the second crop was a total disappointment. But the ones that have reached the exporters' warehouses, except if I extrapolate from what I've received and what I've shipped. So I think what has reached the exporters' warehouse is more than 70%. What is left in the villages and in the farms cannot be more than 20 to 30%.
Oh. So, one question from Mr. Prakash. How are you seeing to increase crop production year by year, and what are your outcomes on the same?
Well, because it is still within the people that wants to, it's individual that is doing the backward integration. Government has not really put the efforts into it. So it same peasant ways of doing it because the prices has gone up. People now see that cashew has a future. Then you now see more people planting cashew. But it's not as massive as it is. You can see in Vietnam, where you have institutions going to cashew production and the government giving them the backing. So we hope with this new renewed hope, we hope that there will be more programming support from the government to increase production. Not government bringing money, but putting legislation that will make so many people to have interest in this crop.
Oh, that's good to hear. So one more thing Mr. Shahrukh has asked is, what are the steps are being taken to increase the local processing in Nigeria?
Yeah, we have the Nigeria Export Promotion Council driving the job, and we have some banks, especially Nexim Bank, providing long-term loan to so many processors to start the processing factory. And we have African Exim Bank, Afrexim Bank, also coming up very strongly to support anybody that want to do cashew processing and forward integration. It is a ray of hope that this country one day would maximize our potential and will become the leader in this processing and the crop production very, very soon. We just need to have a sustained government policy that is favorable to industrialization. So we are very hopeful, especially now we have a government that is giving some rays of hope that things can be turned around in export business. And if you read the news, our export value has increased by 24% year on year. So that means there is hope for this country if we sustain this push. Luckily, we have the bank that are now looking at it and giving long-term facility to support processing.
Okay, so Mr. Adiola has raised a question. With increasing demand for kernels, would you consider Nigerian cashew kernel pricing competitive? Are we able to sell at competitive prices as compared to the other West African countries?
Yeah, what is key is Nigeria has the opportunity if we use it well. We have the cashew we call Ogbomoso quality. Ogbomoso quality can be better than Benin, Ivory Coast, and any other part you can look of. Peelability problem, we are solving it. Then we have the Kogi cashew. It depends on the type of kernel the buyers are looking for. You have W320, you have the other ones. It depends. We can have the different types of kernel in Nigeria as a country. Unlike when you only have the same quality in other countries. Like whether you like it or not, the North count of cashew in the Ivory Coast is the same. The North count in Ghana is the same. In Guinea-Bissau is the same. But in Nigeria, you can have the North count of 200 that can compete with that of Ivory Coast, and you have the North count in Ogbomoso between 175 and 190 that can compete with any other one within Cambodia and Tanzania. So we have the big North, we have the small North. So that is an advantage that we should explore, that there will be more demand for our kernels if we start the processing.
So also one thing you mentioned is minimum grade you are getting is 46 KOR as of now in Nigeria. So
Yes.
what will be the average KOR in 2025 and how does it compare to the global standards?
Well, last year, because of the crop was very good in 2024-25, there were a lot of 52 KOR, 51 KOR, and that was the trend until we started to get to the lowest level. That's why Nigeria did not have any whole crop. All our crop was shipped because the quality was good throughout the season. And this year we expect the same thing, that people have really finally gotten it right by making sure that they do their business very well, correctly, and care about the cashew nuts. So we don't know what is going to happen in the next 2 weeks, if the quality is going to drop further. But as of today, as I'm talking to you, what I have received, I'm talking from what is empirical. Empirical evidences is Nigerian cashew today, the lowest we can get is 46 KOR. So, which is a bit good, but maybe towards the end of May, because the rain is very consistent. Raining is very heavy now. So there's a possibility that people will have to pick their cashew, they may not be able to dry. And you know, when you keep cashew nut for 2-3 days, the quality will go down. So we expect that there will be further deterioration in quality, but as it is today, you can still be safe with 46 KOR contract.
That's good to know. And one more thing, sir, in some of the countries, there is a like procurement window for the processor to acquire some good quality. Is there something like that is going to implement in the Nigeria for to aid the processors?
Oh, yeah, it's one of the things we are discussing with government, because if we don't protect the processors, then you are not creating jobs. So it is a policy that can be adopted, but modified. Unlike what happened in Africa last year, where there was consistent instability in policies that really affected so many traders. So Nigeria has learned a lesson from that. It's going to be implemented if the government is willing, but it's not going to be like what you saw in Africa last year. I think this year is a bit better. What the system they will adopt, I don't know, because I'm not part of government, but we will encourage them to also do the same thing for processors, because if we don't protect them, at one point they'll be in trouble.
Okay, that's good to know, sir. So, Mr. Shahrukh has raised one more question. Given the current inconsistencies in kernel outturn ratios across different Nigeria, how can stakeholders establish a standardized quality benchmark that accounts for both nut size variability and moisture content while ensuring the competitiveness in international market?
Well, I think I don't agree with that notion, because there's consistency in the quality of we have two different origins in Nigeria. You have the Kogi cashew, you have the Ogbomoso. It's not that all the cashew are being produced in Ogbomoso. Ogbomoso is just a symbol of a quality that is better than Kogi in terms of nut count and peelability, because it's in the southern part of Nigeria where you have rainfall that is adequate. So peelability in Kogi is not because Kogi is bad, it's because Kogi is in the north, where there's more sun and the land affects the peelability of the crop. You can get Kogi that is of the same quality with that of the south, which is Ogbomoso, in terms of KOR, 50, 52, 51 in every year, but the nut count is always different. This year, because of the excessive drought, even the Ogbomoso quality, the nut count moved from 180 to 190. And sometimes we saw some that are 193. And Kogi cashew moved from 210, 205 to 218. I was shocked. I was even thinking they were cashew from Guinea-Bissau. So it is the climate change that is affecting the nut count. But standardization depends on the company and where you are taking it to. The quality parameters in Vietnam by FINA control is not the same thing as what we used to do in Nigeria, and it's not the same thing as what you see in Ivory Coast. So until Cashew Info, that's one of the things I discussed at one of our international conferences in Cashew, that we can standardize it, that we need to put a group together, like what you see in Cocoa, where you have the FCC, that can do all these one standardization, quality parameters, contract sacrosancy, and everybody will align. So it has to be regulated. If it's left unregulated, we are going to continue to have this problem.
Yeah. So is there any other questions? If you want to ask, raise your hands or put in the chat box. So we'll take 5 more minutes from Mr. Adinji. So one question is, India and Vietnam dominate global cashew processing and imports. What practical steps can Nigeria take to position itself as competitive and reliable trading partner in these markets, especially in terms of quality assurance, logistics, and pricing?
Well, today we are very sure that our quality is the best in West Africa. And we know today the only thing we need the government is to stabilize so that the sacrosanct of the contract, people will not be smart buyers and smart sellers as what we have seen in the recent time. And I know the problem of contract default is more coming from Vietnam, because consistently they've been reworking the contract. And when every other person has the opportunity when market goes up, they want to pay them back in the same coin, which is not the right thing to do. We don't believe in it. And I think it is more of everybody who participates in this business, they should frown so much about it, and we can make it easy so that there are no contract defaults again. I think that is the only issue we have had in recent years, and it started with Vietnamese smart buyers.
Yeah. So some defaults in the contracts we are seeing because of these uncertainties. Let's hope market will go all in the next coming days.
Yes, what is key is a tit for tat, which we don't believe in. It's not a good thing, but you find out that most of the time, the reason why some people are not very happy is, some years back, the Vietnamese, when the market went down, all of them walked away from the contract. So many people went into trouble. So now, in the last 2 years, the price of cashew have been going up. So you now see some people who felt they were in that shoe also walking away from contract when prices goes up. But well, for us, we are very lucky. Starlink has made it so standard. We have never been defaulted in the last few years. We choose our partners. None of our partner defaulted on us, and we will never default on any partner. Once we sign a contract, we believe that our contract is our integrity, is our symbol. So we fulfill all contracts. So I think that is area where Cashew Info should look at more. And that would now drive us back to what I said, that there will be regulators. We need to look at people who have been in this industry for long, who has integrity, to form a replica of what you see in FCC, where they will have the rules. The rules are set and become standard. Everybody must follow it, whether the buyer or the seller. And I think by then, every of these issues can be resolved and everybody will be happy.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Mr. Bhagmas, you want to share something?
Well done, everybody. Mr. Dineji,
Hello. Yeah,
to
you
come
can
and take
speak,
my
sir.
question. Okay. The thing
Hello.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Am I
yeah,
correct?
I can hear you. You can speak now.
Okay. Now, we all know that Cashew is one of the best in the country. Uh,
Just a minute. Your network is not stable, I guess. Voice is breaking.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Bautmas.
Now,
Yeah, I can hear
what I
you, but
said,
there is a network issue, I guess.
Mr. Energy is trying to bring smart master integrity of the participation. Now, if I suggest, as Mr. Energy posed, why something like
So its network is not stable. So if anybody has any other questions or want to speak, raise their hand, or we'll wind up the session in 5 to 10 minutes.
hello?
Hello. Yeah, you are audible now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the regulator, what I propose, as Mr. Energy said, because all of us know that we can get a better castle from Obumoso at KO 50, KO 50, 948. Now, if you have a center in Obumoso, that all the parties will be centralized, that there's a mate. The Arabians involved in this castle purchase and buying and contract will be centralized. So the issue of sabotage or the smart buyer, smart seller will be eradicated. Because no matter how we do it, if you don't have a center being placed in Ogumaso, it might be difficult, no matter any law. Because if you have a center somewhere else, the so-called smart buyer and smart seller, you can be involved, come to Ogumaso, get it at whatever they buy, whatever, against the law of the. So I'm just trying to add some things because, like gaining royal tomato paste, and because we set up our factory in Ogumaso, though it's just coming up. So we set up our factory in Ogumaso so that at least we can get the best raw cashew nut for our production. So likewise, we have seen a lot of foreigners, a lot of nationals come to Ogumaso during the cashew season. But there's no law that protecting this. To the farmers, they might be thinking they are making money. To the smart buyer also. Although there's no control, we need to control the market. We need to be how this thing will be done, so that someone like Starlink or whatever know that they are when also they are going. There's a registered place need to be made. The farmers or whatever I don't know. So I just trying to put something so that at least we know what we are after and what we are proposing. So that is my little input for now.
Thank you for your input, sir. So with this, I will summarize that the production has decreased a little bit in the Nigeria So as Mr. Adenji told, it might be 15 to 17%, but the quality is deteriorating from the recent rains. So we'll look after this, how the weather will play its role in the second crop. So with this, I will thank everyone for attending today's insightful session of the 2025 Trade Talk series. So on behalf of cashewinformation.com, I sincerely thank our speaker, Mr. Ademi Adenji sir, and unfortunately, Mr. Ozo Ozaku couldn't join. So we will also thankful for him. And to all our participants, thank you from joining from various parts of the world. So we'll bringing you timely market intelligence through our upcoming editions of the Trade Talk series. So stay tuned to cashewinformation.com and follow us on LinkedIn. And the chat box will be open for under 5 minutes. You can put your questions and have interactions. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Adenji sir.
Coach, I appreciate you. Are welcome. You are doing very well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Baudma sir, for sharing your insights on the Nigerian cashew as well.
Hello, you said what?
I said thank you for your insights on the Nigerian cashew.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.